Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Tears here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm gonna be doing a review on Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, Everything Everywhere All at Once came out in the year 2022, and is another A24 movie, an original action sci-fi comedy and drama movie, and is directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schreind. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but formerly mostly known as the Daniels. They're known as the Daniels, and it stars Michelle Yeoh, Ki Hui Kwan, Stephanie Shu, Jamie Lee Curtis, James Hong, Jenny Slate, Tessera. So basically, the plot for Everything Ever All at Once tells the story of a mother named Evan Wang, who's struggling in her life, and like she's having a lot of struggles, with her failing laundry business, and failing her marriage relationship with her husband Wayman Wang, failing her relationship with Joy Wang, as Joy keeps on rejecting Evelyn, and even like getting rejected by the officer named Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know how to say her name, so I don't want to say it. But then suddenly, Evelyn meets a parallel version of Waymon, who introduces Evelyn to different to the multiverse with the different versions of her in alternate realities. And so as Evelyn faces these realities faces these realities with different possibilities, she ends up in a world where her own daughter Joy Wang is the villain, known as Jobu Tupaki in that world. And and then also a parallel where her father is a bad guy, and she must face off against she was faced off against different lives, and learning to accept the life that she has. Now, if you're wondering why I'm reviewing Everything Ever All at Once right now, I mean, out of all different times, like I could have reviewed this movie it after the Oscars when it won Best Picture, and all that stuff, but I feel like this is the perfect time because tomorrow we're getting another version of Everything Ever All at Once called American Born Chinese. I know I reviewed the trailer and raved about it, saying that show looks incredible, and it's one of my most anticipated shows of the year. Now, yes, I know American Born Chinese was already based on the comics. It kind of like came out first. I mean, since American Born Chinese was actually a graphic novel and it was based on something, it kind of felt like it felt like American Born Chinese that came first before Everything Ever All at Once, and I remember when I saw the trailer for American Born Chinese and not knowing what this is gonna be about, like it looked like how do I say this, it looked like a Disney's version of Everything Ever All at Once. So yeah, so when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, when okay, I know a perfect time. Before this show comes out, I'm gonna be reviewing this movie leading up to it, and I believe I said it in my American Born Chinese trailer review. So yeah, I think now is a perfect time for me to talk about this masterpiece right here. And yeah, I know we've all said the same thing. We all know how much of a masterpiece this movie is, and even won Best Picture at the recent Oscars. And yeah, but I'm here today to just give you guys my personal opinion. But it's pretty much no surprise. It's a no brainer to hear that that this movie is a masterpiece, and it is and it's probably in my top 50 favorite movies of all time. Yeah. Now, yes, there are better movies out there. There are better movies. There are better movies. And well, I'm sure there are better movies in 2022. Like Avatar: The Way of Water. That is my best picture winner in 2022. But Everything Everywhere All at Once is probably one of the best, if not probably the best made movie. If I'm gonna look at these movies from a professional critic point of view, I think this movie takes the cake for the best made movie of the year. Probably the one that's probably has the best qualities in the film. Like personal enjoyment, no, it's not the best. But when it comes to filmmaking wise, technical wise, story wise, in fact, yeah, I still like stand by giving this movie the award for best original screenplay because it really is very original. Even if despite yes we've seen multiverse movies before, this one manages to be very unique and different from other multiverse movies and standing out. So yeah, yeah, I saw this movie like exactly a year ago, like sometime a year ago. I saw this movie in I remember seeing this movie like it made late May 20 something 2022, and I still remember the cinema experience. With this being the very first A24 movie I ever saw in theaters, yeah, it was such a really nice experience. I've never seen an A24 movie in theaters until now. I saw The Whale in theaters this year, like I have, and I adore The Whale. I call The Whale the best A24 movie in my initial review of The Whale, but looking back at it, yeah, I think Everything Ever All at Once is truly the best A24 movie with The Whale coming in a close second. Now, I will admit I did overpraise this movie when I first saw this movie in theaters. I saw this movie in theaters because I actually put this in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Saying, oh, this is one of the best movies ever. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I put this movie in my top 10 favorite movies of all time list. To be honest, guys, I kind of never really intended on that. The only reason I praised it that heavily is because Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, and I was a little afraid that if I say Multiverse of Madness is better than Everything Ever All at Once, people would attack me for it. I was a little afraid of that, so I just I wasn't really too honest, and I was like trying to just like, oh, I'm gonna put the movie top 10, so just to impress the film the cinephiles or whatever. But nowadays, but don't worry, guys. Now I'm a lot more honest with my opinion. I'm not gonna let any opinion bashers that come at me saying, "Oh, how can you say this movie is this? It sucks. It's not as good." But so yeah, I'm gonna say this. It's not as good as the Marvel multiversal movies. I still think No Way Home is the best multiverse movie, and also Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness is a tad bit better, but not by much. And also, of course, you can't forget Into the Spider Verse. Pretty much the movie that made multiverse movies what it is today. In fact, people think that No Way Home is the reason why we get all these multiverse movies. No, it's actually because of Into the Spider Verse. Into the Spider Verse is a really it's a smaller scale multiverse movies. It's probably the first multiverse movie I know. I don't know if there was a single multiverse movie that came out before Into the Spider Verse, but Into the Spider Verse it's pretty much a game changer. Yes, we all know it's a game changer to animation that you animate movies that use a comic book style animation. But one thing people don't talk mention is the fact that Into the Spider Verse is a game changer to multiverse movies. That movie is actually the reason why we get these multiverse movies today. And I'm a huge fan of multiverse storylines. I just love seeing the infinite possibilities of realities. That reality that and knowing that reality can go different directions. And I will say that Everything Ever All at Once. Yeah, while it's not my favorite multiverse movie, I will say it'll probably be a better multiverse movie than the Flash. But yeah, yeah, this movie is amazing. It's a masterpiece. I think it's a no brainer to say that, and I can't believe people say this movie is overrated. Yeah, I mean, people just love to hate multiverse movies. Like they're literally turning their backs on Spider-Man No Way Home, and already calling Spider-Man No Way Home overrated. But come on, guys. Yeah, I mean, people are just saying about No Way Home. I mean, a lot of people are turning their backs on the movie, saying that they admittedly just overhyped it, and they're saying, oh wait, the movie is no story. It's just the movie is nothing but cheap nostalgia grab just to bring Toby and Andrew and the classic villains in it. But Spider-Man No Way Home is more than just a multiverse movie of bringing nostalgic characters back. It's actually a movie with a real plot with real consequences. Like, these people just forget about that, but I know I'm going off topic, but I'm just saying that people just. But that's pretty much the thing with um. But that's pretty much the thing with everything all at once. They're only like just hating on it just because of the fact that it's a multiverse movies and they can't stand it. Cause pretty much multiverse storylines are pretty much taking over the superhero genre nowadays. But yeah, most people I'm hearing say, "Oh, it's too weird. It's too wacky. It's too goofy for my taste." I'm sorry, but you don't get it. I mean, you're. I mean, there's a reason why this movie was weird. It's hard. It's hard to explain, but there's a reason why this movie was is weird. There's a reason why this movie is weird. But like at least just look at this movie from a story perspective, from a writing perspective. You should see for yourself that this movie actually is well written and well made on a filmmaking and technical standpoint. This is, yeah, probably one of the best made movies I've ever seen. This movie is like feels like the Godfather of action movies, the Godfather of our generation. And I know I'm acting like this really is my favorite movies. Again, favorite movies and best movies differ. Best movies are it's basically you're saying it on a more objective level, while favorite movies is just a movie that you personally enjoy more, that you personally hit you more. And yes, I've seen everything ever all at once thousands of times. I think this movie is really rewatchable, and it really does spark my enjoyment. In fact, I didn't even rewatch this movie too for this review. I was going to, but I had no time. Now I'm reviewing this movie now because at least I still know what to say in this review. I still know what to say. So yeah. Now let's talk about everything that's great about everything ever all at once. Yeah. And yeah, this movie is an amazing Best Picture winner. I think this is the Best Picture winner since Return of the King. I know we've got some great Best Picture winners all over the years. Some of them I think I defend. I think it's underrated, like Green Book, for example. I think Green Book was a good winner. Even though I would have picked a better winner, I think Green Book was good. And people just love to hate on Green Book just because it won Best Picture. And yeah. But and although there are some Best Picture winners that don't get enough love nowadays, that not many people talk about, like how do I say this? Like oh yeah, the Hurt Locker. How would I forgot the name? That was just a brain fart. Hurt Locker and Coda, they don't get talked about. Love both movies, but in recent years, I think this is the Best Picture winner in recent years. Not even, yeah. I mean, even this movie is even better than Parasite, and Parasite is fantastic. But yes, if you remember my top 10 favorite Best Picture winners, I put this at number three, right behind Titanic and Return of the King. Titanic and Return of the King are the unbeatable Best Picture winners, no doubt about that. But everything ever all at once. I mean, I'm really happy this movie won because let's be real. Nowadays Oscars just don't give action movies enough love. Like they just give they normally give the Best Picture winners to slow burn dramas. And even though I like those movies, yeah, some of them I question if they really deserve it. Like The Shape of Water winning Best Picture. I mean, not a fan of Shape of Water. I mean, I love Guillermo del Toro, but I'm like probably a late fan because I became a fan of him, a huge fan of him through Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. But Shape of Water is probably my least favorite Del Toro film. I think that movie is extremely overrated and did not deserve the Best Picture. But although I will say this is not my favorite. This is not my favorite Best Picture winner. No, I mean this is not my favorite Best Picture nominee of that year. I'm saying that yeah, this isn't really my favorite of the nominees, especially when Top Gun Maverick and especially Avatar: The Way of Water got nominated. But I mean, did you really think that? Did anyone even think that either of those two would win Best Picture? I know there would have been some people who would say that Top Gun Maverick would win Best Picture, but let's be real here. I mean, both movies I mentioned are not Oscar Best Picture winner worthy. Like even though I love them from a personal standpoint, I think they're both better films than Everything Ever All at Once from a personal standpoint. They're not really Best Picture winner worthy. I mean, the movie that would have won the best picture is Banshees of Inisherin, which is great, but I feel like there's which I mean, I really love Banshees of Inisherin. Although there are some scenes there were some aspects that I thought were stupid, like the fact how Brendan Gleeson just hates Colin Farrell just because he's dull, and he acts like Colin Farrell's a monster just because he's dull. Yeah, that's kind of stupid. Like a stupid reason to not want to be like to be with someone. So I don't think the movie is as perfect as people think it is, but with everything everyone all at once, I mean this. I mean, I'm glad that they gave it to a different genre, not a slow burn or a comedy movie where you have to be smart to find it funny. I mean, action is the best genre. I mean, this movie is an action movie, a comedy movie, a drama movie, and and I think they all work perfectly. And yeah, so glad to see an action movie win Best Picture. More action movies to win Best Picture, please. But yeah, um, but now onto the actual research, like everything inside the film, like enough with the backgrounds. What I love about this film is the storyline and message of the movie. I mean, we've heard messages about enjoying life, but yeah, I mean, this movie is has such an original concept for a multiverse movie. Usually, multiverse movies would basically be about the characters trying to fix problems using powers, but suddenly things go wrong. With this movie, what makes it stand out from other multiverse movies? What makes it very different and unique is that it it's so different because it's about looking at different perspectives of life, how bizarre life can be, how because we see like the normal Evelyn like being miserable with her life after being a struggling mom, struggling businesswoman, and struggling with her business and with her family. But I mean, as much as this movie is a family drama, it really I mean, the multiverse is there to show Evelyn that to teach Evelyn not to be miserable with her life. And that there are worse things that can happen to life than her just struggling with this life in general. Like and knowing that Evelyn's struggles are basically just normal human being struggles that like very realistic struggles that everyone has to go through. People who have business really struggle with their business. Even me personally, I was forced to start a business. When I was grade 11, like pretty much last year, I was forced to start a business. And I didn't want to do that because that's not my kind of thing. But I struggle with a bunch of things like the finance and stuff, and my mom just kept yelling at me when I screw up, and I even like and I was even forced to go for a very lame product, but I don't want to talk about that. That's going a bit too personal. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we all have a struggles in life, and that's what makes Evelyn's character is well written. She's very relatable, and we all can relate to her struggles in life, and she that's what makes her such a well written character. And then you got Wayman Wang, who's pretty much who also has his struggles, like specifically with Evelyn, because Evelyn is struggling with marriage, but Wang is basically the one who introduced the multiverse to Evelyn, like telling Evelyn that there's some infinite number of realities, so that there's a lot more realities, a lot more different versions of Evelyn's life, and and yeah and yes, this movie it's a lot of things, like what I said. I said it's like probably this is already my third time, but I don't care. It's an action movie. It's a sci-fi movie. A sci-fi multiverse movie. It's a comedy and a drama as well. And there's a lot of things happening that it's really tough to actually process what's going on. But yeah, basically, but the multiverse stuff, like, yeah, sure, it does start off a bit slow, but let's be real here. I mean, when it comes to A24, whenever it gets slow, it gets pretty boring and draggy. But this movie never drags, so not even a slow scenes, which is probably why which is probably why I think I put this as the best A24 movie, because this movie was never felt draggy, and it's probably the one eight if I were to watch an A24 movie for the rest of my life, it will be this one. Or maybe I could possibly pick the whale if I'm in the mood for some sailing, but for just a movie in general, everything ever all at once. I mean, and it's even hard to imagine people preferring like another A24 movie. Pretty much an A24 movie that's just infinitely weaker than this. An A24 movie that's just about characters standing there trying to force metaphor into the audience, like trying to give it like force them. Like I mean, but yeah, I think this movie is the best A24 movie because it feels like A24 worked together with a big studio to make this big blockbuster of a movie. Yes, I'm calling it a blockbuster. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, the multiverse stuff is really good. It's so creative. I mean, this movie really goes beyond imagination. I mean the thing that people complain about these multiverse movies is that they don't like go beyond the director's imagination. It feels so limited. But when it comes to this movie, the Daniels really pushed it to create something that's just so unique and so unique and I mean trying to take risks, trying to put like throw in everything they can that pops out of their mind, multiverse related, and telling us that multiverse can be infinite different things that it can have infinite number of personalities to it, and as bizarre as it is, it works so well because multiverse is supposed to be bizarre. Yeah, it's supposed to be bizarre, but I think the thing about the movie is that it's just very thought provoking. Very and there's some really very resonant themes. In fact, I didn't really mention all the themes. I just mentioned about messed up family life. I guess depression is also there, and the depression is also there, and some other stuff. And yeah, this is like I said it many times. This is a movie that talks about life, and so yeah, I guess those are all the reasons as to why this movie won the Frozen Awards for Best Original Screenplay and even the Oscars for Best Original Screenplay, because this movie was just brilliantly written. Like I, probably in my top 10 favorite best written movies. But this movie just manages to be entertaining. Like oh boy, let's talk about the action scenes. Oh boy, the action in this movie is absolutely mind blowing. Like seriously, the way that the action was choreographed, and the fact that this movie has so much action but doesn't really that doesn't take over the story. It's a really good, like the action, like it's just well choreographed. It's badass. Like every single character, most characters that get their time to shine and being a badass. Even Jenny Slate, yeah, aka Bellwether, who only had two scenes in the film, got her time to shine in kicking some ass. And yeah, all the characters are really good fighters. Um, and are really good fighters as well. So yeah, there's like those action scenes, and I can't really recall what my favorite action scene is. I think I had a favorite action scene, but I can't really remember what I can't really remember what action scenes there were. Oh yeah, so yeah, now let's talk about my some of my favorite worlds. Yeah, let's talk about some of my favorite worlds in this. There's definitely the restaurant world. One of my one of my favorite multi. You know what? Actually, let's go back to action scenes. Actually, yes, I do actually have a favorite action scene, and that is when that is basically the climax. Yeah, it really went all out hard in this, and it really went all out hard. The music is also really good as well. I mean, the score, wow. I mean, it really pushed itself to the limits, and yeah, but yeah, let's talk about some of my favorite multiverse worlds. I mean, one of my favorite multiverse worlds is like I said, the restaurant world where Evelyn does Japanese teppanyaki roll, and she's does Japanese teppanyaki, and she screws it up. And then she goes inside the kitchen and notices Rakakuni. Yep, a parody of basically Ratatouille but with Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon in the chest. And I'm just kidding. It's just a normal raccoon, but yeah, I mean he in a way he does kind of remind me of Rocket Raccoon. In a way, and yeah, I mean. I definitely would like to see a live action Ratatouille movie called in the Vase of Ratatouille. Vase of Ratatouille. Yeah, I really felt so sorry for this for this raccoon. Yeah, really good. And then there's also the world with penis sausages. Yeah, it is weird. It's disgusting, and I love it. I mean, this movie is weird, and like the penis sausage scene is the scene where your characters hold penis as sausages, eat the sausages, and then just suck on it. Just really tells you how weird and that this movie can get. And oh yeah, and also there is, and now let's talk about the most popular multiverse, the most popular world, the most popular universe in multiverse area in this movie, or whatever you want to call it, the rock scene. Yeah, basically the scene with Evelyn and Joy as rocks, like together, this sitting around together, being so quiet and just looking out in the looking out in the in the sky, and then just basically rocks with googly eyes. And yeah, googly eyes do play a huge part in this movie, and even used as a weapon. That scene is brilliant as well. I wouldn't say I wouldn't go as far as calling it the best scene in the film, but I mean this scene that scene has become a classic at this point. That like a lot of Letterboxd users even used googly eye rocks googly eye rock as their profile pic. Yeah, that's the reason why. And by the way, yeah, this is actually one of the highest rated movies on Letterboxd. I should add, one of the Letterboxd favorites. Like I've seen like half of the users I subscribe to. They put this movie in their top four favorite movies. So that definitely says something. But yeah, that scene is brilliant because, it's subtle, it's quiet, but it's at the same time it's heartwarming as well. It really makes you just question your quiet life. Yeah, and it shows you that life can be quiet. And yeah, that scene was brilliant and beautiful. And yeah, well, oh yeah, let's talk about the performances as well. Because wow, I got things to say. Um, Definitely Michelle Yeoh and Ki Hui Kwan are amazing in this movie. Like, of course, just as good as they say, and they both give the best performances. Like, period. Yeah. And this movie made me love Michelle Yeoh even more, and also Ki Hui Kwan. I look forward to seeing them in American Born Chinese. And then also James Hong as well. Jenny Slate is in this as well. You probably know Jenny Slate as Bellwether. I probably an underrated villain. I'm starting to think that I'm starting to feel like I kind of overpraised Bellwether a bit, but I mean she's not half bad. I mean I still like Bellwether. I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe they could have like give Bellwether more time to be a villain, but I'll talk more about that in my Zootopia review. I'll certainly review Zootopia one day. But yeah, but also the and then we got Jamie Lee Curtis, who I gotta be honest with you guys, Jamie Lee Curtis is probably the weakest link in this movie. The weakest aspect. No, don't get me wrong. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I think it's one of her best performance. My favorite performance from Jamie Lee Curtis though is Laurie Strode in the first Halloween movie. You can't top that, but what she did in this movie, I mean, acting so crazy. I like it. However, I don't think she deserved the best picture. No, the best supporting actress win. I mean, um, yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis did not deserve it. I feel like I don't think she screamed some Oscars. I don't think she's Oscar worthy. I don't think she's worthy to win an Oscar. But I love the acceptance speech as well. Oh, yeah, and also women Ki Hui Kwan's acceptance speech also, and Michelle Yeoh, like they all gave amazing acceptance speech. Yeah. But my personal favorite in the cast has to be Stephanie Shu. Yep, Stephanie Shu as the villain in the film. She technically plays two characters in this movie. She plays Evelyn's daughter Joy Wang, and the main villain of the movie, Jobu Tupaki. I think they're both equally my favorite. They're both equally my favorite aspects of the film, and I look forward to seeing more from Stephanie Shu. I'm gonna watch Joyride, mainly because she's in it. Yeah, I'm gonna check out Joyride. In theaters though, we'll see. But we'll see if I have time. But definitely I'll see it. But definitely I'm seeing it maybe online. Because let's be real. Stephanie Shu. I mean, just probably meant a lot. Her character probably meant more to me than than the other characters. The Evelyn and Waymond. And I think she has like she's just a more she's just a character I personally resonate with more as a daughter. So as a struggling daughter, I'm not trying to get away with watching once, and Evelyn that's constantly taking control of her. You yeah you really feel so bad for Stephanie Shu. I mean, always like being rejected by her mother a lot of times. I mean, Joy. I mean, yeah. And literally, like, funny enough, her name is Joy, and she's starring in an upcoming movie called Joy, right? Yeah, what a coincidence. I'm happy. I'm so glad that the Oscars did not snub her, but I feel like she was robbed of an Oscar win. Both Stephanie Shu and Angela Bassett in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever are both tied as my favorite. In the Best Supporting Actress nominees, and yeah, I'm not alone on questioning Jamie Lee Curtis's win. Because she is the weakest aspect of the film, like what I said, but I think Stephanie Shu should have won. I mean, everyone's like. I mean, at least Angela Bassett got her chance to win at the Golden Globes, and it sucks that the Oscars don't really recognize actors in the MCU. But Stephanie Shu should have Stephanie Shu could have won. I personally could have given it to Stephanie Shu. Especially if you want an Everything Ever All at Once cast member to win best act to win best supporting actress at the Oscars. So, but yeah, Joy was amazing. But I think the true story in this movie is the villain Jobu Tubaki. Yeah, the other character Stephanie Shu plays. I love Joy Wan, but Jobu Tubaki, man, I mean, she might be my top five favorite villains of 2023. I mean, now, favorite villain 2022, I don't know, 2022. I mean, I don't know why I said 2023, but Wanda would still be my favorite villain of 2023, but Jobo Tupaki would certainly be right up there as well. As she's just an amazing villain, a very threatening villain who wants to conquer the multiverse and just conquer the multiverse and threaten Evelyn, and I think she's just really intimidating as a villain, and Stephanie Shu really pushes it, and I think personally she gave the best performance of the cast in the movie, the best acting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, hopefully I get to see more from Stephanie Shu, and she's probably the actress of she's probably who I'm most excited to see in American Born Chinese. So yeah, and also yes, this movie. Last thing I want to add as well is that this movie is emotional. I mean, it gives you a lot of emotional, like, sad and sad, or it's sad, it's funny. Yeah. It made me laugh. It made me cry. And yes. My favorite scene in the film was I forgot I forgot I don't know how to describe the scene, but it's just basically Waymond giving a very inspirational talk to Evelyn, and then you hear this very emotional background, very emotional music. Pretty much probably perhaps the music is just the most the music is the most well, how do I say it's well, I don't know, I'm kind of lost. The music is what makes that scene emotional, but well, again, but not only that, but it really fits well with the dialogue, with the lines and the tone that one scene is trying to set. Yeah. So overall, Everything Ever All at Once is such a masterpiece. It deserves every single ounce of praise that I get, and it's certainly in my top. It's obviously in my top 10 favorite movies of 2022. I mean, best movie. Yeah, I mean the best movies of 2022 list though wouldn't be complete without this movie right here. Are there better movies than this? Yes, but but this is probably like one of the best main movies of the year, and yeah. And this is definitely like the greatest Best Picture winner in recent years, and I hope more movies like this wins Best Picture. This is certainly the best A24 movie, yeah. Um, and yeah, this is just a brilliant original movie, and we need more movies like this, and more movies like this to win the Oscars, yeah. Hopefully, American Born Chinese will be just as much of a masterpiece as this right here. So with that said, I'm gonna give Everything Ever All at Once. Of course, obviously a 10 out of 10. So also for my review of Everything Ever All at Once, what is your opinion on this movie? Who agrees with me that this movie is a masterpiece and deserves all the praise? Is this your favorite movie of 2022, or are you with the people who say that it's overrated and overhyped, and it's not your cup of tea? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and well, of course, American Born Chinese wouldn't be my next review because I'm gonna wait until the entire show wraps up to talk about it, and that show's gonna have 8 episodes, by the way. I bel I think I believe, yeah. Wait. I believe, but yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, I believe it's gonna end. Oh wait, actually, no wait. It's actually all the episodes are releasing based on like looking at it right now. Actually, all the episodes of American Born Chinese are releasing in one day. I just realized it looking at it. Yeah, I'm on IMDb right now while recording. So yeah, but definitely I won't. I'll have to like binge through it. I don't know when I'll review it. Hopefully by next week I'll be able to get to review this show by next week. But my next video is gonna be a very unique kind of list. I'm gonna make a top list I want to make. I won't say what it is. It's gonna be a surprise, but I'll just say it's gonna be something new on my channel. So yeah, bye guys.